Man, Shelly straight told Charlie, "Don't worry about that man until that woman tell you to worry about that man." Charlie, start worrying about that man. Start worrying about that man, Charlie. Good luck, Charlie, because you about to be gone. You about to be gone, sir. And a couple more men are going to be following you out this villa, okay? Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Movie Bae, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a review over Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 10, you guys. Episode 10. When I tell y'all, I told y'all last video, A set the standard. A set the standard, and all these men need to step it up because these women, they're not playing no more. They're not playing no more. But before we get into it, you guys, I would like for you all to consider subscribing to the channel if you are new. Here on Movie Bae, I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television. And if that's the type of content you like, then you are in the right place, okay? Especially when it comes to Love Island. I drop my shorts immediately after the show. I do my videos, my full reviews the day after. And then every Saturday, including this Saturday, we are going to go live to talk about the tea outside of the villa. We're going to get into the new Bombshells, look at their social media pages. And then, of course, we have to talk about the drama that happened on the show during week 2, okay? So, like I said, subscribe, hit the post notification bell so you can be alert when we go live and join the conversation, all right? Now, what I usually do, we do the group activities and then the storylines, or the storylines and the group activities. So, let's talk about the debrief after the lace and leather little activity that they had to introduce the Bombshells, okay? So, during the guys debrief, we meet Pepe and Jalen. Okay, we find out that Pepe is a retired basketball player. He played overseas. Okay, I mean, I'm not saying it's not the same, but I'm just saying. Okay, he played overseas though, and he opened up an after-school program for children. I said, "Oh, Pepe," that kind of goes along with him saying that he's gonna bring maturity into the villa and he's looking for a wife. Okay, so right now the aesthetic fits for Pepe, and honestly, this picture is not doing him any justice. He looks so much better on the show. He looks so much better on the show. Oh, I forgot to switch my view. Y'all don't want to see my big up face. Okay, but yeah, he looks so much better on the show. Okay, then we meet Jalen. You know, our country Jalen. He's from Georgia. He said that he's a truck driver. I said, "Ho." Now that could be my own personal biases, but the truck driver I talked to, ho. The truck driver that I talked to, and he tell me all the stories about his coworkers and the people that he run into on the road, ho. So, I mean, Jalen, I don't know, you lost some points with me because of the truck driver thing. But Jalen don't really give me ho vibes, but ho. Okay. And then he also stated in front of everybody that he's into Alandria. So, Taylor, is Mr. Still Girl. Like, he might as well have just started singing that song because that's exactly what it gave. And Taylor knew. He said he's a biggin. I said things some country shit. I love that we are being represented on TV. I appreciate that. So let's go to the girls debrief. Y'all know last episode or last review, I was on Huda for calling Iris a bitch in the derogatory way. Why is Iris sitting next to Huda? Iris, you better than me. Because it couldn't be me. Because it couldn't be me. I would have sat next to Huda and I was like, yeah, so what's up with that you called me? Like, what's up with that? What's that energy? I would have made that to apologize to me because y'all got me up. No, ma'am. No, man. We ain't talking about nothing until I get an apology up after this. Like, why is nobody holding that girl accountable for her actions? Shelly? Alandria? Did y'all have a chat with Huda about what she said? Anyways, we get introduced to Iris formally, and when she did her little walk-in, she said that she got a banging body and she a flirt. She didn't say nothing about wanting a relationship, nothing serious like that. We gonna get into her later, okay? But she stated that she was a spray tan artist. She noticed that Huda was trying to put her claws into Jeremiah. She was trying to mark her territory, and Iris said that it's already some cracks, and we about to see through these cracks. Okay, I already know what's going on because at this point of the season, when the Bombshells come in, they have watched the show or they either get like little reels about what's happening in the show. So Iris already know. Yo, man, yeah, he ain't as locked in as you think y'all are locked in. Okay, so I know we was all hoping for Iris to infiltrate But our girl kind of let us down. We might not even need Iris. Who needs a bombshell when Huda can run off the men by herself? Okay, but let's go ahead. We're gonna talk about Huda later. Y'all know I gotta save the best. I gotta save the drama for last. Y'all know me. I gotta save the drama for last. All right. But let's go ahead and get into these chats. So we have Taylor, Alandria, and Jalen. Jalen came in and made it known that he is interested in Alandria and nobody else. My issue, Jalen, that's cute. You know, that's cute. But I really think that you need to talk to everybody, sir. Because I didn't see him even in a group setting talking to everybody like I saw Pepe. I saw Jalen talking to Alandria only. Jalen, I'm gonna need you to explore, baby. I'm gonna need you to explore a little bit, okay? Now, while he is talking to Alandria, unisex names, Alandria slips up and says that she loves Taylor. She said, I love him. I mean, I like him a lot. I said, oh, the slip showing. Your slip showing. And then she says, but we are not closed off, okay? She's excited about talking to, I'm gonna call him JB, y'all, because they've been calling him JB, so I'm gonna call him JB. She's excited to talk to JB. She said she already planning their wedding songs. I said, okay, Huda Jr. Actually, Huda the third, because Tiara is Huda Jr. We're gonna get to that later. Okay, Huda the third. She already planning wedding songs, okay? Later on in this episode, y'all know Taylor set up like a, was he doing the meditation thing or was it the yoga thing? It was the meditation thing. And correct me if I'm wrong. I only meditated. I meditated for like a month when like every morning for a month straight. And I didn't do none of the things that Austin was doing. What the hell was he doing? My meditation was more so deep breathing, you know, words of affirmation, some stretching. What the hell was he doing? What the hell was he doing? And then for some reason, and y'all tell me if y'all caught this, maybe, but it was a lot of usage of the word master by these white folk in this episode. I'm just saying. She was like, "Thank you, Sensei." He was like, "No, it's master," and then they repeated it. I said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" I would have straight told Austin, "My ancestral spirit won't let me say that. I'm sorry." Thank you, Sensei. Because the fuck. Anyways, I'm getting off track. I'm getting off track. But Alandria is now wondering if Taylor is genuine because that night he was a little bit handsy in the bed more than he's ever been. And she wants to know now if his actions are genuine or if he's just trying to step it up because he knows that there's a new bombshell that's interested. And Alandria, you are valid in wondering and thinking that. That's definitely a concern. However, how do you explain Taylor's actions the day prior to the bombshells coming in? So that might, if she considers that, that might make her a little more like, I don't know, I really can't tell. And we're gonna talk about Taylor in our live on Saturday too, because it's some speculations going around about Taylor as to why he's not interested in Alandria. Okay, but let's go ahead and move on to Nicholas. This gonna be my whole intro for him now. Nicholas, don't piss me off. Do not piss me off, Nicholas. Okay, let's go ahead and get into Nick, Sierra, and the new bombshell, Iris. Okay, because like I said, aside from Jalen, these bombshells are making their round. All right, so Nick and Iris, they have a little chat or whatever. And first off, when she had the bug on her boob, when I tell you I screamed, throw the whole titties away, bitch. Throw them all away. Ew. Okay, I screamed through the TV. But they have, I guess, like a little cute, just a little get to know you session. There was a lot of laughter going on, and this is why I call Sierra Huda Jr. because she straight strutted, right past a man to make sure he saw, and I said, "Go sit your ass down somewhere." Okay, Huda Jr. The next morning, y'all, this is what gagged me, and I had to rewind it to make sure. Nick told Sierra that he was going to make breakfast for Iris. I said, wait a minute. I said, in my notes, I said, oh, he asked Sierra if he could make breakfast for them. And I said, wait a minute, let me rewind it. He didn't ask not a damn. He said, I'm going to make breakfast. I'm going to make breakfast for Iris this morning. And Sierra said, oh, that's so nice. Bitch, what? I would have looked at Nick. For what? She can't cook? She don't know how to cook? Did she ask you to make? For what? What you doing that for? Sonny. You had one chat with the bitch. One chat with, and she get breakfast? Okay. Taylor. I mean, goddamn it. I was looking at my notes that said Taylor. Nicholas. That pissed me off, Nicholas. So that night, Nicholas has a conversation with Iris again. And he said, I've been wanting to talk to you all day. I said, oh no. Oh no, Nicholas. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about Nicholas. Nicholas, I think Nicholas has a fetish. I think Nicholas has a fetish. I think Nicholas wants a little spice in his life. Day one, he was interested in Alandria, right? But Bella was what he usually goes for. Okay. Sierra comes in. She got that little spice. She Puerto Rican and Mexican. She got the little spice. But Bella is what he usually goes for. All right. Now Bella's gone. You get another white girl to come up in here and you all up on her too. I think Nicholas has a fetish and he like is intrigued or fascinated by the girls with a little spice, but he gonna go for the white girls every time. So Nicholas, stop playing with other people and stop playing with yourself. Please, Nicholas. Because, and this is exactly why. Because y'all know I was team Nick and Sierra. But I told y'all in my spirit, I don't want Nick with Sierra with Nick, because I know he gonna act the fool. And it ain't even Casa Amora you already acting the fool, Nick. Boy. Ooh, I tell you, Sierra needs to take a page from Shelly's book. Shelly needs to mentor Sierra. Okay? But that's okay. Matter of fact, Sierra, let me help you out. Sierra is kind of on the right track. Because later on, when we get to her Pepe, every time Nick would have talked to Iris, I would have pulled Pepe for a chat. You got me. That's the same way you interested in her, I could be interested in him. Yeah. Okay, but before we get to them, I need to talk about Ace real quick. Yup. I need to talk about Ace real quick, you guys. Ace, I told y'all, Ace was setting the standard for the men in the villa. It caused Huda to have a whole down response. Okay, I say this because Ace was DIYing his dates, coming up with these makeshift dates around the villa. You know, hey, I'm gonna do a hibachi breakfast. I'm gonna do yoga. I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. You know, being creative, being cute. Okay, so much so where it has Shelly thinking, you know what? I like Austin. You know what I'm saying? And we even cuddled last night. If I wasn't interested in him, I wouldn't be all up on him like this. We even cuddled last night. However, Ace is romantic. And I like that, taking initiative. So that is true. That is true. I'm pretty sure if she could have the conversations that she has with Austin mixed with what Ace looks like in the romantic side, I think Shelly would have the perfect man. But as I say every video, Shelly's match is not in the villa. Let me talk about it. Ace didn't pull Shelly for not one chat this entire episode, according to the edit. He did not pull her for a chat at all. He did the yoga date because he promised that yesterday. Yesterday he said, we got another date tomorrow morning. So he had to do that. Aside from that, we didn't see him talk to Shelly at all. But he talked to Iris a couple times. I said, wait a minute now. Hold on. Before the bombshells came, you were stealing Shelly away from Austin. Snatchies. Every time Austin talked to Shelly, you went up and grabbed Shelly. Making up the dates. What happened to that energy, Ace? Somebody else come in, show a little bit of interest, and now what happened? What happened, sir? These ain't loyal. I didn't change the color on this slide. It's supposed to be orange. Oops, oh well. Oops. So let's talk about Ace's connection with Iris. Me personally, I feel like, according to the edit, because I can only review what they have shown, he has better conversations with Iris than he has with Shelly. Just like Shelly has better conversations with Austin than she does with Ace. Right? Because we don't really see Austin and Shelly talking, but she says it a lot. She says that they have good conversations, but with Ace, it's just like, shits and giggles. Now, here we go. We got Ace. Here comes Iris. They have some good conversations, okay? She got him to let that wall down about how he has been all about women too fast, too quick. So this time and during this experience, he really wants to take just dating to the full extent, getting to know everybody before I just lock in on somebody. Okay. We hadn't gotten that conversation from Ace at all until this episode with Iris. Okay. They also have another conversation about basically what have you learned in your previous relationships. Iris said, the first one was puppy love, so I'm thinking probably like middle school, high school type ish. She said the second one was toxic. Okay. And the third one is when she learned how to love. I said, okay, Iris, it's a little more than just spray tan. Because at first I was just giving dumb bitsy. Like she said, I'm a flirt, I got a good body. Like that's all I was getting from Iris. But this conversation made me look at her like, okay, I like this. I like this between Ace and Iris. And I usually don't root for my king going for the milk of magnesias. I don't. But based off of their conversation, based off of the vibe, I'm not mad at it. And Ace too is kind of like thrown off guard. Like, bro, what the is happening right now? Like what? I know he wanted to follow her over the soul ties. He wanted to turn around and look at that ass. He did, because that white girl got ass. He wanted to, but he kept it respectful. He turned a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? But he kept it, you know what I'm saying? I think he's thrown off just like I am. We are. So, do y'all think Ace is gonna stray from Shelly? I do. I feel like he already has. Like, I don't know with that one. Ace and Nick are two peas in a pod. I will say that. We'll talk about it more on Saturday. Oh, let's go to Queen Crash Out. Oh my gosh, you guys. I keep telling myself one day I'm going to get off of Huda's neck. And then I say I can't, because she's just going to do something to piss me off. Okay? Before we get into that, I want to like the video if you haven't done so already, especially if you made it to this point of the video. That means you're enjoying the commentary. So please thumbs up the video, engage, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And if you're new here, especially if you're new here, but you keep coming back and you haven't subscribed yet, you're as toxic as Huda. Okay? Let's couple up. Hit the subscribe button. I mean, we've been on multiple days now. If you've been coming back and you haven't subscribed, we just need to couple up. Okay, Jeremiah? Let's make it official. Let's close off and hit the subscribe. I done made y'all Huda and then I went to Huda just like that. All right. Let's talk about Huda and Jeremiah. First off, before I get to my notes, I want to talk about Jeremiah, because Jeremiah is not perfect in this matchup by any means. Okay. My issue with Jeremiah, and we'll get into his issue with the pancakes later, but my general issue with Jeremiah is what men do. They act like they in a relationship without the label. So they are free to do whatever they want to do without the guilt attached to it. I'm just saying. He wants to act like they're closed off so she can feel like they're closed off. But why not just close it off? Because you want the option to do what you want to do. And then you won't have any guilt, because you can just say, well, we're not closed off. That's my biggest thing with Jeremiah. Typical issue. Okay. By the way, keep Taylor in the villa so he can continue to edge these up. We need the groom. We need the shave. We need the fresh fade. Y'all got to keep Taylor in the villa. Maybe he could go work from hair and makeup with production. All right, let's go ahead and talk about it. I told y'all last episode, Huda asked Jeremiah, I thought you were going to step it up, because she noticed Ace. And guess what? That's exactly how this episode started off. I said, I fucking knew it. Fellas, we always notice. Women notice details. Okay, men think big picture. Women notice details. All right. So Huda mentions how Ace and Taylor are, going above and beyond. by, doing these dates, setting up dates, planning stuff around the villa. And Jeremiah was like, well, I mean, excuse me, I've had to process you having a child. I said, damn. Huda was about to cry. She was about to cry. But Huda, you did drop a bomb on him. Okay, and he has had time. He did need to process. You know what I'm saying? But Jeremiah, in that time with you processing, we were still showering together, and you were still playing with my cooch. So you have time to process that, but you couldn't process a date, huh? Interesting. She basically, they have a conversation about him doing the bare minimum and how she wants more. She wants these dates. She wants to see an effort. First off, you told that man he didn't have to try. That's where you screwed yourself, ma'am. Told you not to say that. You said that anyway. Now you mad that he ain't trying. So she tells him, communication. You're doing a bare minimum. You just step it up. Okay? And then they start getting sexual, kissing and not touching all this. I'm like, girl, every time y'all run into an issue, you mask it by being sexual. Stop doing that. It's like, oh, he's mad at me. Let me put this up on him so he can remember why he liked me. Oh, he mad at me. Let me so we can forget this conversation and let me get up all up on him again. So then that night they have some pillow talk. They have pillow talk last night, and she asked him, "Do I have to worry about you?" What the fuck is she talking about? Poor Jeremiah. What the fuck is she talking about? Like, do I have to worry about you outside the villa? Can you share your location? I said, nah, I don't like this. I said, bitch, did she just ask him to share his location? Y'all not even in a relationship. Y'all not even outside of the villa. And you want that man to share his location. Now, I don't think I've had a... No, I have. I'm about to lie. I don't think I've had a relationship since sharing the location has been a thing. I have. But I don't... What am I do? Pop up? But Huda, what are you going to do? Pop up? You live in North Carolina. He live in LA. It makes no sense for you to even have his location. Like, you're going to know where he at. Where is 123 Palm Street Tree Lane? Where are you going to go? Are you going to Google Maps him? Zoom in to see what it is? Is it apartments? Is it a warehouse? Like, or is it a club? Or is that what you're going to do, Huda? Stop it, Huda. Stop it, Huda. Then she said, I have trouble trusting people. Join the club. I don't want, she said, I don't want you, she said, I don't want you to leave me, or I'm scared that people are going to leave me. I'm like, Huda, they probably leave because you do this. This needs to be studied. It's crazy how the most beautiful women are insecure as hell. You scared people gonna leave you. I think they're leaving because you act like this. If you didn't act like this, I don't think they will leave. What? Girl, you are... But you know what? Some men like this toxic. But, baby, your insecurities are showing. And I hate that for you, Huda. I really do. Sis to sis. I hate that for you. Bitch to bitch. I hate that for you. Then, guess what they do, y'all? They start making out. But the next morning, Huda slept with her hand on Jeremiah's face. And she was trying to turn his head for a kiss in the morning. And when I tell you, he pulled her hand off of him and yanked his head back, I said, he is sick of your shit. He is sick of you, bitch. He's tired. Truth is outside. Jeremiah is sick of her. He's sick of her. However, they do like a little breakfast montage or whatever. And bro, when they showed their pancakes, I said, that shit not done. When they showed the pancakes, I said, that shit is not done. And then Jeremiah took some pancakes up to Huda, and she said, "It's not that." I said, "Them was Jeremiah pancakes." And she dummy as hell. She did not know. He think because it had a little brown on the crust on the edges that this shit was not. That shit was funny. No shade. I can't eat that. She can't eat that, bro. She cannot eat that. However, this turned to a whole thing. Matter of fact, when he brought the plate, she said, "Oh, no protein today." Damn, can I get a good morning? Can I get a thank you? The first thing you say to me is no protein? No protein today? And the shit not even done. You should have just threw it back in his face. So she has to go back downstairs and make breakfast because, she can't get sick. Food poisoning because of Jeremiah. And so she makes breakfast for her and Jeremiah. So they're eating or whatever. And she tells him, "You should eat all your food." He said, "Why?" "Because you're a man. You need to eat all your food." Bitch, what? Bro, some thoughts you should just keep in your head. I don't know. I mean, I have friends with children, and I'm not in their relationships with them. I'm not around them 24/7 like when they have a significant other. But I've never heard my friends that have kids talk to their men like kids. So I don't want to hear that. Well, she's a mom, so it's natural instinct. She's just demanding and controlling, and I guess you could say dominant, but I'm a dominant woman and I wouldn't say it like that. Eat all your food, you're a growing boy. The fuck? Bitch, if you don't leave me alone, you're a man. You should eat all your food. Bitch, eat all your food. Don't worry about what's going on over here. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about what's going on over here. So, of course, she's still upset about breakfast. And she said, "Well, Taylor helped me cook pancakes." He was like, "Okay." What are you telling me that for? "Well, you let another man help me cook and you were standing right there." Okay? Like, in Huda's defense, I understand what she's saying. She wants him to step up and do more. However, Huda, from experiences, if you have to tell a man what he should already be doing or what you want him to do, then that's not the man for you. Can't raise a man, he's already grown. What you gonna do? Girl, you can't. So go find another person who's gonna do that automatically. That's my motto. I'm not teaching and training them to be perfect for me. No, I'm gonna go find another. They just gonna do it automatically because if you're not my type of, if you don't think like that already, you worrying about losing him. You need to be running off your damn self. Keep the signs, it's the red flag slapping you all in the face. And then she started to give herself a little pep talk afterward to who was she talking to? Amaya? Trying to give herself a little pep. He's gonna lose me, but you're gonna lose him. I think you're gonna lose him before he loses you. Girl, please. Girl, please. He might do the little ankle kick that Ace did when your ass leaves. Because you stressing that man out. He not perfect at all. But you, girl, good Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Yeah, so long story short, she wants him to set the romance up. All right. Iris does have a conversation with Jeremiah. I think we all were hoping that she could really infiltrate their relationship. But like I said, with a girl like Huda, who needs bombshells? But I do applaud Jeremiah saying, just because we had a rough morning doesn't mean I'm gonna throw it all away. So basically, like, I appreciate you talking to me. I'm interested in getting to know you, but I'm not just gonna jump out on you just because we had a little rough run here. I think Jeremiah deserves to win. It's been 2 weeks, and this man has been through hell and high water. We could vote them to win, you guys. Huda could use the money for her baby, and Jeremiah needs some money for his pain and suffering. Okay, we could just settle out of court. Just settle out of court. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into the last thing that we're going to talk about because y'all know me, baby. When I start the rambling, but I feel like we have a good convo. I'm talking to myself, but I feel like we have a good combo. But let's go ahead and talk about the bombshell that's doing it right to me. I feel like Iris is doing it right as well, but Pepe said, "Baby, I'm talking to everybody. Somebody don't choose me. Somebody don't choose me." Okay. Let's talk about some of his conversations. Pepe had a conversation with Amaya. I like them, and even though I don't think he's feeling it, I'm feeling it for him. Okay. They both are Spanish Latin background. So they have that connection. You know, he says that all his family members speak Spanish. She speaks Spanish. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about white girl Hannah coming and you got to translate for her. You ain't got to worry about all that. Homegrown, baby. It's right there. You know, sometimes you just go with what you know it. Okay. Yeah, but Sierra definitely likes him. Not Sierra. Amaya likes him way more than he likes her. And I want Amaya to have a man. I do. However, remember when I said the bombshells at this point know what's going on in the villa? So when Amaya said that Ace and her like fire and ice, I said that you should have told him that you were the fire. And honestly, Pepe probably know that she's the fire. And he's probably not interested in how Amaya can get. And unfortunately, Amaya, you kind of ruined that for any of the men that come in there. Because, well, unless they like toxic like you. Unless they like that toxic like you. So Pepe had a conversation with Sierra, who he is interested in. I like that. I like Sierra for you too. Yeah, since Nick want to play around, Sierra, you can play around too, and don't worry nothing about his feelings. But he stated that he likes Sierra more than he expected that he would. I like them together too, honestly, and I'm not being discriminatory because they're Spanish. I'm not. I just feel like the conversation and the vibe is there. However, Pepe seems to be interested in Hannah. Pepe seems to be interested in Hannah. What did they talk about? Not a damn. They just giggling, shits and giggles. And then Hannah, what they call it? Too hot to handle Hannah. That's her new nickname. Straddles that man and kissing him all down in the speakeasy. I said, Hannah, keep your lips to yourself. Your first conversation with Charlie, you was kissing too. That's probably why Charlie over there sweating over the avocado, over the guacamole, because he know how you get down. That's why he worried. He's a shit. The first conversation I had with Hannah, we was kissing too. That's exactly why he worried now, confiding in Shelly. Shelly talking about, don't worry about that man. No, he needs to worry about that man. He knows Hannah, and he know how she get down. I don't see it for Hannah and Pepe. Because what did they talk about? Nothing. It's just sexual chemistry, child. All right, y'all. I'm done rambling. If you stayed around this long, you're a real one. Note that. Okay, note that you're a real one if you stick to the end. Thumbs up the video. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And of course, subscribe. We're going live on Saturday, y'all. By the time I drop this, it will be Saturday. So 4:30 or 5 o'clock Central. I haven't decided yet, but it will be 4:30 or 5 o'clock Central. Okay, make sure y'all tune in because I really, really want to talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? About what's been going on. We're gonna talk about the tea that's been going on outside the villa. Bella little interview. Okay. We're gonna get into the social media things with the bombshell, and of course, just talk about the week. Don't forget to vote. Don't forget to vote. Who do you want the bombshells to end up with? I'm gonna tell y'all who I voted for on the live. I'm not gonna say y'all name. Maybe you can guess. Maybe you can guess who I voted for the bombshells to be with. But I will tell y'all on the live though. All right. So be sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.